In the year 2025, artificial intelligence is no longer a tool for techies or corporations alone. It's become something much bigger, a co-pilot for your ideas, a tutor in your pocket, a writing assistant, a researcher, a developer, even a life coach. But with three major players dominating the scene, Claude from Anthropic, ChatGPT from OpenAI, and Gemini from Google, the big question is, who's actually best for you? Each claims to be smarter, safer, more powerful. But how do they really perform when it comes to learning, teaching, creating, coding, and staying informed? In this video, we'll break down everything, side by side, with cinematic prompts and real-world examples. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or a tech enthusiast, this will help you decide not just which AI is best, but how to get the best out of them. Let's start by understanding who these AIs are, not just in terms of branding, but personality, design, and practical strengths. Claude, built by Anthropic, is designed to be safe, deep thinking, and highly structured. It feels like a calm, logical professor who prefers clarity and depth over flash. It excels in giving long-form answers, clean writing, and emotionally intelligent explanations. ChatGPT from OpenAI is creative, flexible, and friendly. It feels like talking to a very smart, energetic friend who's always ready to brainstorm, answer questions, or just chat. It adapts quickly to your tone, funny, serious, poetic, or technical. Gemini from Google is the researcher. It's fast, connected to live internet data, especially in pro versions, and designed to retrieve and summarize information with impressive speed. It feels more factual, sometimes less emotional, but brilliant in anything data-driven. Together, they represent three styles of intelligence: Claude, the structured philosopher; ChatGPT, the creative collaborator; Gemini, the real-time researcher. Writing and creativity. If you're using AI to write, whether it's essays, stories, ad copy, or poems, each of these models performs very differently. ChatGPT is known for its creativity. It's excellent for storytelling, brainstorming titles, writing fictional dialogue, and coming up with metaphors. It often feels like it understands nuance, character, and rhythm. Claude leans into structure. It's best when you want organized essays, research-backed arguments, and formal tone. But it can still surprise you with poetic phrasing when prompted. Gemini is efficient, great for summaries, fact-based content, technical writing, and outlines. But it may lack emotional tone or literary flair, especially in casual conversation. To show you how different they can be, here are a few creative writing prompts. Teaching and learning for students and teachers, AI is no longer just a helper. It's a powerful teaching tool. Claude is best for step-by-step learning. Its ability to structure information is excellent for tutoring, concept breakdowns, and walkthroughs. ChatGPT is adaptable. It can switch tones, turn boring topics into games, and even act like a study coach, quiz master, or cheerleader. Gemini excels at speed and references. Ask for the latest teaching methods or real-world data. It delivers fast and with sources, if browsing is active. Let's explore how they teach using these cinematic educational prompts. Cinematic prompts. Explain the concept of photosynthesis to a 12-year-old using pizza as an analogy. Create a 3-day lesson plan on climate change for 9th grade students. Include objectives, activities, and a quiz. Act like a private tutor, preparing me for a math exam in 2 days. Create a timed revision schedule and daily checklist. Give a list of 5 unusual mnemonic tricks to remember the parts of the brain. Write a fun rap that explains Newton's 3 laws of motion. This is where AI becomes more than a tool. It becomes a co-teacher, coding and technical work. If you're into coding, AI is like having a junior developer at your side, but each model works a bit differently. Claude writes code with clean structure and helpful comments. It's great for planning functions and understanding the why behind the logic. ChatGPT is your debugging friend. It's excellent at reading your broken code and explaining what went wrong and how to fix it, even if you're just starting out. Gemini, especially when connected to APIs, is lightning fast. Need to look up a documentation link or summarize a GitHub issue? Gemini does it in seconds. Here's how you can use prompts to turn each AI into a coding mentor. Cinematic prompts. Write a Python script that lets users enter daily tasks, saves them to a file, and prints a to-do list each morning. Here's a broken HTML form. Diagnose and fix the error. Explain your reasoning. Step by step. Create a beginner-friendly tutorial that explains the concept of APIs using a pizza delivery analogy. Write a JavaScript function that animates a button when hovered over. Include comments and browser compatibility notes. Explain how two-factor authentication works using a door lock, a phone, and a passcode as metaphors. These aren't just code generators. They're teachers, assistants, and testers rolled into one. Real-time knowledge. This is where the game changes. If you want live, real-time information, Gemini leads the pack. It's connected to Google Search and can pull fresh data, links, and summaries on the spot. ChatGPT has browsing capability in Pro mode, and when enabled, it performs really well on news, reports, and long-form articles. Claude, however, remains mostly trained on past data, brilliant at understanding, but less current and less updated. Let's test this with some prompts that demand real-world awareness. Cinematic prompts. Summarize the latest government AI safety regulations introduced in 2025 across the US, EU, and China. Compare the top 3 education trends currently rising around the world, based on July 2025 data. Pull and summarize the most recent statistics on AI use in classrooms, include numbers and citations. This section shows who you can trust when facts are time-sensitive. Personality and user feel. Beyond tasks and facts, the feel of the AI really matters. ChatGPT is expressive, friendly, empathetic, and surprisingly funny when prompted. Claude is respectful, logical, and emotionally aware, like a mentor. Gemini is professional, quick, and more robotic, but no less effective. The same prompt can sound very different across each model. Let's try a few. Cinematic prompts. Talk to me like a life coach. I'm feeling burned out. Give me 3 ways to reset, and a motivational quote. Now say the same thing as a drill sergeant. Be tough but caring. Role play as a sarcastic tech reviewer, explaining why my AI refuses to do my homework. These AIs aren't just brains. They're evolving personalities. Who's best for you? So, which AI is best? The answer is, it depends on who you are. If you're a student, use Claude for structured essays, ChatGPT for studying, and Gemini for research. If you're a teacher, Claude builds clean lessons, ChatGPT brings creativity, Gemini updates your data. If you're a coder, ChatGPT explains, Claude writes cleanly. Gemini finds documentation lightning fast. Prompt. Create a daily workflow using all 3 AIs. Claude for drafting, ChatGPT for formatting, Gemini for research. Each AI is a tool. The real skill is learning how to use all 3 together. Prompt like a pro. Here's the secret. The better your prompt, the better their answers. Use the ideal prompt framework. I, intent. D, detail. E, expectation. A, audience. L, Length. Prompt. I want a 5-minute speech. Intent. About AI and education. Detail. For 12th grade students. Audience. In a TED-style tone. Expectation. Under 600 words. Length. Prompt like this, and any AI becomes your expert. Claude. ChatGPT. Gemini. 3 brilliant minds. No single winner. Only the right one for the right job. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which AI do you use the most in 2025, and what for? Until next time, keep learning, keep prompting, and let the AIs do the heavy lifting.